thank you very much for having me, THT. And I also want to say thank you, Robin, for everything that you shared, and especially the point that you made about the names that we can share, whether fully or not at all. Because most of the people that I have known who have died of an AIDS-related illness, I will never be able to share their names in a public forum. So I appreciate you mentioning that when you were speaking before. So I have been living openly with HIV for many years, and I've been living with HIV for a lot longer than that. Next month's actually my anniversary of living openly with HIV, so maybe I'll celebrate by coming back to the archives. And I wanted to just briefly reflect before I share this poem on what it means to be living with HIV nowadays. And I feel that I need to say specifically within the UK, because I've been doing a lot of work internationally, and what it means to live with HIV in different parts of the world means quite different things. And I kind of came into adulthood at the time of U=U, and even before that, for those of you who will recall the Swiss statement, which was the first statement to kind of be boldly saying, actually, we think that when a person is undetectable, they will not be able to transmit HIV. And more than a decade later, then the U=U campaigns came out, the Can't Pass It On campaign came out. So I'm existing in a time where living with HIV doesn't get in the way of my day-to-day life. And I know I'm saying this to you and I'm preaching to the converted here, but it really is, when we're hearing about the reflections and your own memories as well, that is really an incredible thing to say, that just 40 years on, where we are now, it's an incredible time to be a young person, a young adult, living with HIV. It's an incredible time to be alive. But of course, the stigma still prevails. And on the way here, I was reading an article by THT's very own Alex Sparrowhawk about recent Terrence Higgins Trust research in terms of public attitudes towards people living with HIV. And it was really stark that the majority of the people asked didn't feel comfortable kissing us, let alone having sex with us, even within the context now of Can't Pass It On. And I think that is one of with all of the progress, and it's enormous progress in terms of preventing transmission, and in terms of knowing that I can comfortably and confidently aspire and assume that I will live to an old age, there is still that context, there is stigma and willing people to catch up with the latest science. I think the fight at a previous time was potentially different, but right now it's about willing people to catch up with what's going on. And whilst people are catching up with what's going on through different campaigns within THT and beyond, a lot of our strength as people living with HIV often has to come within our own communities and within allies who support us as well. So I want to thank THT, I want to thank Terrence Higgins so much for commissioning this poem and allowing me to create this poem. And it focuses on the Terrence Higgins Trust heart and the importance of that collective action and the importance of creating our own loving spaces, especially if they may not, whilst we kind of create more expansive ones and whilst we will people to catch up. This poem is called From Heart to Heart. Better known for death than in living. Let's remedy that. Collapse into heaven, anniversaries to remember, withdrawn. Outing people before we're ready. Once murmured background noise, steamrolled through, wiped out. Last left in photographs, the last left to remember. Lost in shame, we forgot we were miracles. Deafening blame, becoming each other's comfort. Between four walls, trust communed, evolving into a leading voice. Observing the heart, for solidarity, support, our daily ritual to stay alive, outing the state of this nation, opening ourselves, not hiding within, silent solidarity, words aren't enough. No one can raise our voices like we do, full, encompassing, forceful, defiant, for our spirits were not built to be silent. Life really changed. It took heart, takes courage, who is seen, who's invisible no longer. That starts with me. The world is changing, and so must we. Standing alongside our chosen kin, memorialized from heart to heart. Thank you.